little bit. Oh, straighten my hair out. I mean, hi guys. I'm in my PJs. I've been in my PJs all freaking day. Does anyone else, maybe I'll wait a minute till people come on, but for those of you watching the replay, does anyone else get emotional during like talent events? Like American Idol, what was that? AGT, America's Got Talent? I don't know. When people like showcase their talents, especially children, I get all verklempt. I get all verklempt and I feel like I'm gonna shed a little tear. And in perimenopause, Maria, how are you? Oh my gosh, I was just gonna say hello to everybody. So I was kind of jibber jabbering about what I just did. I just teardrop. I have no makeup on. Excuse this face. I give no fucks. This is zero fuck summer. If you didn't get the memo, I want everyone to embrace it. We're gonna, even if you have to go to work 40 hours a week, whatever you have to do, just care a little less. I know you got to show up and do your job, but outside of that, release from attachment of anything. Let the laundry sit. Right now, I did it. I did a lot of laundry today. And I have a couple towels unfolded. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave them down here because we're gonna need them for the pool tomorrow. I'm not gonna go fold them and put them away. Not today, Satan. Not today. I got a couple more little things that need to be up in my room, in my closet. They're folded nicely over the chair bench. I have a box of Wheat Thins here. I've also got Bonterra organic wine. I'm trying to remember if this is what I had last week. I don't remember. I know I had an organic. I know I've had this one, so it was probably last week because I just got into the organic. But they say that organic wine, yes, it's in a margarita glass. Wait, where's the there it is. There's the other cactus. We got cactus party up in here. I now drink every drink out of these. In the morning, I have grape cranberry juice out of this. So glad to see you too, Marie. Yay. I know I haven't been on in the mornings. I did do one yesterday morning or something, but Cora's home now for the summer. So we've been hanging out, going to the pool. Oh, I'll have to tell you about her first swim meet. Hold on. Mm. Oh my gosh. I was such a proud little mama. So Cora, I hope she never sees this, by nature is not like she's not athletic, you know? She's not just, some kids are just naturally athletic and like whatever. I wasn't one. I mean, I was a decent dancer, but like you put me in a space with a ball, I'll probably miss it, whatever it is, right? And so she, I feel like, is a little more athletic than I was. Like she's really good at soccer, but has no interest in soccer. But my point is leading to this. So gymnastics she likes, but like, she's not like, oh, this is like you're so advanced. Like, and it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to give you a picture. I don't care. She could do just as long as you try, I don't care. Dance, she likes, but she's kind of growing out of it. Cool. So we're trying to find her thing. It might be acting, singing. We're probably gonna put her in that in the fall. She really wants to do acting or singing. So I'm seeing if there's like a combo class. But she's doing swim. I wanted her to like know how to swim so she didn't die. So we gave her swim lessons and she really, really liked it. So, and all her friends were on the swim team last year. And my friend Lauren was trying to get us to join this year, and she was like sending all these pictures of last year's like celebrations and the fun things they do. They have all these events, socials they call them. And so she was sending them, and so I started showing Cora, and Cora was like, "Yeah, I want to join," but she already wanted to join. She just was, I think, was overwhelmed because she was doing gymnastics, dance, and swim. So once dance and gymnastics were over, she was like over the moon to do swimming. And the thing that's different I noticed with her about this different than dance is like she would do dance. She did a good job. I think the the ballet she did in April, there's a special ballet show they do, right? Like, it's only a 4-month increment of the year. It's not like the whole year that she normally does. It's like a special performance to do. So she auditioned and she did that, and that was just like I saw her in a different light on the stage. It was like she was now like not just like a cute kid dancing around, but like she really looked beautiful in her dancing, and she really enjoyed that, and she said she might wanna do that again next year, but she doesn't wanna do year-round dance. Gymnastics she likes, but she doesn't know if it's her like her jam. She's like, "I'll just try different things." I'm like, "Okay." So she loves swimming, and I noticed she will like, she wants to go to practices, like, she wants to get better, where before it felt more recreational of like, "Yeah, I'll do it. It's dance, it's fun, whatever. I meet friends, she likes to move around and whatever." But she seems like she actively wants to do better, which is the first time I felt that in, like, a sport or activity. So, anyway, we joined the swim team. It's, like, 3 minutes away. The pool's literally a 3, 4-minute drive. Um, it's awesome. The community is, like, really nice. The friends we met there are now, like, our besties we hang out with all the time, and so it's been a great experience, but we started doing the practices, and they said you don't have to be able to, like, go all the way, they'll get it. So I was like, "Fine," but I thought she could go all the way, and so during practices, she wasn't getting all the way without touching her foot down or grabbing the lane, like, they have the lanes, um, like, grabbing that. Sometimes we're better than others. The last practice before her first meet was last night, that's where we're getting there. To make a long story longer, so her I think it was her last practice before that or 2 practices before that, she like, didn't even make it halfway, and she has asthma. I'm talking quietly just in case. She just went to bed recently, so and she's right above me. I don't want her to hear and feel bad. Um, but she couldn't make it halfway. She was, like, just out of breath, and I was like, "I don't know if it's asthma or just more tired," because she wasn't, like, wheezing, she wasn't, like, gasping, so I was like, "I think it's just more she's they have to get used to, um, getting the stamina or whatever." So, that practice, it was just like, and then the next practice, she, like, went, but she had to hold on, but she did make it across, but it was like, "Okay," and I asked the junior coach, I said, "Should she still do the meet?" And she was like, "Yeah, even if we have to be in the water with her, we'll do that, and if she touches down, gets disqualified, then it's fine, like, it's good for her to, like, try," And I was like, "Okay." So, in my mind, I mean, I had full expectations that she was gonna disqualify because she had, I don't think, ever gone across the pool without touching something. So and they had to practice. The half hour before, they had to practice. I don't know if it was for a whole half hour, I forget, but they had to practice, like, before the meet. So I'm like, "She's gonna be out of breath and tired, like, we'll see if she even makes it halfway across." So I was kinda, like, nervous a little, and, so her time comes up, it's her and 2 other girls, and they blew the whistle, and I couldn't see, someone stood right in front of me, so I did record it. I'll post it on, Instagram. If you're following me on Instagram, I'll put it there. So I recorded it, but I couldn't see the very first, I didn't see her dive in. Then I'm like, "Okay," and then I'm watching, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, all I'm excited about is that she doesn't drown and doesn't, like, give up halfway or something, where she gets, like, upset about it, but she had been very determined. We did affirmations, I swear, she was so distraught last week, I think it was only a week ago. She was so distraught, she was crying, saying, "I'll never get it, da, da," and I was like, "We're gonna do some affirmations." We started doing affirmations every day, and then she was like, "I can do it," and she started believing herself more. I'm big on affirmations, okay? I'm a life coach. It's what we do. Um, they work. Mindset is a real thing, okay? So she's going, I'm like, she hasn't touched at all, and she's going in a straighter line than normal. Normally, she'd, like, kind of veer off a little. Going straight, not, like, not looking distressed at all, not touching anything, not touching down. And I'm like, then she gets, like, 3/4 of the way. I'm like, "Is she gonna make it across?" And I'm like, she's gotta, like, and it's awful to think that way, but I was really like, she's gonna go down before the end. There's like, and then she picks up speed and she passes the other person too. Hey, I'm on the Wine and Wednesday, Thursday. Hi. I forgot that you were on. That's okay. Hold on. I forgot that you were on, and I didn't bother Dad because he's on. That's okay, honey. What is it? My little angel. I had to talk to him for a second, but he said he'd be up in 15 minutes to help me fix something, and I can't get to sleep just yet. Oh, he said he'd be up? Yeah. You can go down there. No, I'm not saying go down. Oh. I was asking if I could read until then. Yeah, can you talk on the thing or no? Yeah. And just say that But he's on the middle of the okay. And I'll tell him when he comes up and he asks. Okay, well, if it's set a timer for 10 minutes, and if not, come down, okay? Okay, you can read. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hi, are you still there? Are you still there, Margaret? Are you there? I mean, are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. I mean, of all the times, right? Of all the times, she's never once come down during this time. That's hilarious. Really? Anyway, so she passed, and it doesn't matter. It's yeah, Marie. And it doesn't matter. They're not competitive. Like, it's not competing against each other. It's for fun, and you're racing against yourself, right? So it's like individual, but they're in the lanes. But if there were a race, she would have gotten second place. That's all I'm saying. If there were one, but there wasn't. Okay. But I was just, and it doesn't matter, but I was so excited she made a cross without touching at all. And also the fact she did, like, gain speed at the end was so surprising, because she's usually, it's like the opposite, where at the end she gets, like, but they say adrenaline's a thing, like when it's a race. And I was like, asking her, I'm like, so what were you thinking while you were cheers, by the way. It's Winey Wednesday, but it's not. It's Thirsty Thursday. Yeah. I keep getting buzzed. Someone's texting me. Sorry. So I was just like, I was real excited about that. So, but let me tell you about the meet. So that part was great. What wasn't great was swim meets are, as you may know, if you're a swim mom or dad or grandpa or grandma or caretaker, they're roughly 4 hours plus. Okay. You have to get there an hour before it starts. So we got there at 4, and then this was a quick one, because they started grouping people together and combining. Because why, you ask? Because it was raining cats and dogs, and they did not cancel. Other places, they said other were the real heroes or zeros, because we did not cancel. Other swim meets in the area canceled. We did not, because we I don't know, want to prove something, I guess. I don't know. I was flabbergasted. We didn't cancel. It was like 58 degrees, which doesn't sound that bad, and that's not that bad. Typically, to me, it's like, you can, it's bearable. You put a little sweatshirt on, whatever. But it was pouring down raining for all those hours, so we are sopping wet. It was windy. I was literally holding one of the poles to, like, they have the awning. We had awnings over where we were sitting. Like, they put them up, like, they're pop-up awnings, So, but every time the wind would blow, there were like 8 of us, because it was like 4 on each. There were 2 awnings. It's like 4 on each pole, 1 on each pole. There are 8 poles. So we'd like, and like jump over and grab it. And I was also watching, like, all the kids because all the parents are volunteering. Like, if you're on swim, you volunteer. That's what you do. You have to volunteer and do jobs. So my husband was doing timing, like, they did little timers. People do different jobs, and, so I'm there. Actually, at one point, it was so funny. Me and this woman were both, like, holding poles next to each other, and she was like, "Hi, I'm Christy," and I was like, "I'm also Christy." It was just kinda funny, and I was like, "2 Christys in a pole," which sounded really weird and stripperish, doesn't it? 2 Christys in a pole, it sounds like a bad porn. Um, but it was funny, so met her, that was nice. But also the kids, there were kids crying, there were kids literally the poor baby, one of Cora's little besties was shaking like a chihuahua, like, so cold. They're these little tiny things. She was so cold, so I was, like, holding her and, like, trying to I could feel it was warming a little, and she was saying it was helping. She did not wanna leave my arms. I was, like, just holding her, warming her up, because she did 3. So, Cora's friends have been doing swim team for, like, a couple years, and at least 1, if not 2 or even 3 years, and they all were doing, like, 3 races each, or 2, 1 to 2. Cora just did the 1. She just did freestyle. There's, like, backstroke and breaststroke, whatever, and so they were going in the water, right? And this thing, I'm telling you, it's like it was we were there till 8, right? I think 8:30? I don't know. Either way, it was at least 3 hours, which in the cold rain, that is a long fucking time to be in the water. It's not even just like if you're at soccer or something. You're literally in the water and then you come out. Like, you swim, you come out. All the towels are like we had multiple towels, but they're all wet from the rain. Everything's wet from the rain. So there's no, like, reprieve. We did at a point when multiple children were crying, we took them to in the bathroom because it was, kinda warm in there. And at the end, after they were done, a couple of them took hot showers in there. But man, I will say this, I recently, like, prayed they were swimming well yeah, they swam in the rain, Marie, yeah, the whole time, as long as they can see that's the rule, at least for our pool, and it's weird because they're, like, less competitive, I think, than other pools. If there can't be thunder or lightning, like, thunder, you hear thunder, there's no thunder. It was raining all day into the night, and during that, it kept rain there was not 1 minute of time it was not raining, and there were times it was raining hard and it was windy, but it as long as these swimmers are visible in the water, yeah, game on. I've heard this about swim teams in general, though, so it was interesting because people said, "Oh, other places shut down, like, they canceled." I was surprised because my stepsister, who her son was, like, very involved in swim, she said, "Oh, they never canceled for rain." So but they were more competitive. Like, these it's so weird being in this whole swim world. I was never in a swim world, like, literally, I think I told you guys, my dad threw me in a pool at 4 years old. I tread for my life. I taught myself to swim, basically. I From there, went on to summer camps where we were in the pool 3 days a week every year. Anytime I could be in the pool, I was in a pool. I fucking love swimming. I was never on a team though, which it's so weird, It's like sometimes do you ever think back and you're like, "Why didn't I do a certain thing that came so easy to me?" I mean, I did dance and I love dance, so I guess that was good. But sometimes I'm like, "Why didn't I do swim?" It literally was, like, so easy to me, and even I would do certain strokes and stuff, and I say that lightly because I was not athletic, so it's not like I'm like, "I was great," because trust me, I was, like, really bad at a lot. I did basketball. I was not good at basketball. I was on the team. I actually made the A team. That is surprising. I forgot I was on the A team. You know, there's A and B teams or whatever. I was on the A team, which actually really blows my mind. Maybe there were shorts and people. I was fast. I'll say that. I could go fast and dribble, but I was short and I got fouled out a lot because I was aggressive. So I got kicked out of games. There was one game, me and this girl both grabbed on the ball. This is so funny. We both, well, I had shot it. It came down. I made the basket. Maybe I wasn't as horrible as I thought, but I didn't start. I wasn't a starter. But I shot the basket. It made it. I remember being so excited. It came down. I grabbed it, and this girl came up from the other team, and she grabbed it. And I was like, I will say I'm competitive. And I was like, oh, hell no. So I just held on to that ball. Both of us, it was like we forgot the rules. Because you can't just carry the ball down the court, right? Like, that's a very obvious thing you can't do. So we're both holding the ball, and like, we're like dancing down the damn court, holding a ball together, running down the court, holding this ball. And my mom was like, it was so weird. She's like, it was like the ref was like, everyone's staring at you guys. The ref is blowing the whistle because you're both carrying the ball, but neither one of you, stubborn assholes, will give it up. And we just kept riding down the entire court, holding the ball, the whole entire court, running together, holding the ball like neither one of us wanted to be the first to let it go. Who was the first to let it go, you ask? Who do you think? Who's your fierce mama? It was her. She let it go first. At the very end, when they were like yelling at us, let go of the ball. And I was like, no. And she let go. Oh, memories. But anyway, I digress, which what a surprise. So yeah, I don't know. That's like a whole tangent. But anyway, I'm really excited. I had prayed to find a local tribe. Like, I have friends, right? Like, I have people, but I was like, I miss, not miss, I never had it, but like, I've always wanted that village mentality. I did have it when I was a kid. Me and my best friend and all our little friends, our moms and dads all like hung out together, right? Like in the neighborhood, or, well, we didn't live there, but we'd go to their neighborhood and run around and play tag and like just order pizza, spontaneous, right? It'd be like, hey, we're coming over. Like, none of this, we have to plan everything a fucking month in advance because we're so fucking busy and important, right? Cora, did you have fun at your swim meet?
Mhm.
Yes. What?
He didn't come down yet.
Okay, so I think it's time for bed. Okay.
I know.
What do you need help with, honey?
Getting the sheet right, and I can't really get to bed. It's like I've been trying it. I'm just not tired.
You want to read a little longer? What time is it? Hold on. It's 9:30. Almost.
Down here and just keep quiet.
Hun, no, I have to do this, okay? You can go up in your bed, read for 5 more minutes, okay?
Okay. Can you help me?
Can you speak out, like...
I know, but I don't want to bother Dad again. He got mad when I did it.
Oh, earlier?
Yeah.
You did? Okay. Did he know you needed help?
Yes.
Because he said in 15 minutes?
Yeah. It's been 15 minutes. A little bit over, I think.
Can you go write him a note and bring it down? Okay? Say, Mom said it's okay.
For him.
Just say, Mom said it's okay that I ask this. Whatever. Okay? Anyway, but yes, Cora, I mean, I will say, a lot of kids, like her friends, there were a few that cried. I mean, and I get it. Like, her poor friend, I won't say the name for privacy, but she just had a really rough couple of weeks. Their family had COVID. They were stuck in another state for 2 weeks because they couldn't fly back because they all had COVID. And it was like they had it, but then someone else in their family had it that was with them. So they were delayed even more getting back because they couldn't fly until it was gone. So that was hard. Then they get back and lack of sleep, and then they come to the first meet and it's just like a shit show. It was like very cold and wet and whatever. So, but they still did it. They did great. Cora had so she loved it. She had so much fun. And she's really in it. So I'm really excited. But anyway, so we found our little village. I feel like what I had as a kid is like I prayed, I really did, and I'm like, I feel like a nerd talking about this, but I felt like it'd be nice to have I was never like in a group really. Like even in high school, I didn't want to be though. I was very like I don't want to be put in a box. That like I don't know, angsty teen maybe it was, I don't know, but I just felt like I didn't want to be put in a box. I didn't want to belong. It was some weird maybe it was a commitment thing, I don't know. I had some issues I had to work through in therapy, but I did it, and now I'm here. And I kinda longed for that. I was like, "God, it'd be so nice to have that village feeling of, like, you have these people, you depend on each other, you look out for each other's kids, and, like, you scratch each other's backs, and you feel safe, and it's easy friendships. There's never any drama. There's literally never I've never had an issue with anyone. None of them have ever like, there's no talking about other people. There's no gossip. It's I just feel so lucky to have met these people. So, yes, Marie, it is. And like I feel so lucky and I asked them, I'm like, "Are you guys all staying?" Because I feel like in Virginia, I found a group of women that were awesome. We had so much fun, Whiny Wednesday Club, how this whole name started, I think. Um But it was such a transitional area, and everyone eventually moved. And this group, like, everyone is obsessed with where we live. No one's leaving. They're like, "We're gonna die here." I'm like, "Good, because I love you guys." And it felt so good, like so most of them were doing, like, the volunteer jobs, right? And then me and one of the other moms, who she's just awesome, I love her, um, and her husband was with us, like, we took care of all the kids that, like, in our crew that their parents and others, there were kids I didn't even know sitting there, and we were taking care of them, covering from the rain and feeding them. Um, and it felt so good to be a part of that. It just was like, "God answered my prayers, like, here I am," it was really cool. It's just cool. Um So I feel really, really lucky. Um, and my husband, it was like he's such an introvert, and it was nice to see him, even though it was like crazy and raining, like he met people, he talked to people. He was like, I said, "How was it?" I was like, "Was it your personal hell?" Thinking it may have been. And he was like, "It's all right." And he goes, "I made some jokes. People laughed." Because like my husband is so he's really funny. But he's such an introvert. He's only like no one knows he's funny. It's kind of like that. Isn't that weird? It's kind of sounds weird, but like his best friend and him are like hilarious when they're together, and like he has fun with his brothers and stuff. But he's just more introverted. He doesn't need a lot of people in his life. He's very focused on his. So he's a network engineer by day, and then like right now like every other night, we both encourage each other to work on our own separate things. And then, like every other night, we are together and do stuff together. So tonight's a night I'm doing my thing. This is my thing. I connect with people. I drink my wine. Maybe I'll watch a show after this. And he does his music. So he's a musician. Virginia has transit area, right, Marie? Government and yes. And even Maryland is, but I will say this, Marie, about Montgomery County. There are a lot of transitional people, but there's a hub of people that Montgomery County is a really awesome place to live. And it's like, if you don't have to leave, you don't leave. It's a very unique place. I love it here. And I mean, I may stay here forever. I don't know. I don't know. I've thought about like retiring. I would love to live by the beach. I just love the beach. And it also depends, I think, where Cora goes. But of course, she said she's literally this girl. She reminds me of my old best friend in how she plans things. My old best friend had a map of her life and she has lived it. And I think that's really cool because I had no fucking clue and I'm all over. But it works for me and like it's ended up fine. But Cora is like a planner. She is very thoughtful. She thinks ahead a lot. And literally, since she's 4 years old, she has decided she is going to be a koala veterinarian in Australia. And I believe her. Like, I feel like we'll probably end up in Australia because she's that. I just see in her life, like, she decides something, it happens, which I will say is like me in a way. I don't plan that far ahead, but like, I remember even coming out of college, I said literally I wanted to work in California, but my mom and brother talked me out of that. There was like they had a big meeting with me about how I couldn't leave and they guilt tripped me. I'm still a little upset, Mom. I love you, but I'm upset because it worked. I got very guilted and was like, okay, I can't leave them. That which pisses me off because I really wanted to do acting and singing. It worked out. I wouldn't have met my husband, wouldn't have had Cora, right? But it at least it gave me the feeling of like, okay, I'm not going to do that to my daughter. Whatever she wants to do, I'm going to support and I'm not going to hold her back, her big koala vet dreams. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of like in the same way, even though I'm not a planner ahead. Like when I graduated, at first I was like, "Oh, I wanna go here." That dream got crushed by my family. And I was like, "Okay, then if I'm gonna stay here, then I'm gonna work for Discovery Channel." It was so competitive to get into the Discovery Channel, very competitive, and I was like, "I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it." So, I hustled my resume to people. I talked to some of my friends. It was just like, "If you know anybody," and my best friend at the time, I was talking to her about it, and she's like, I know this guy that works in, like, the mailroom." And I was like, "Yes, that's good." She's like, "It's the mailroom, though." And I was like, "I don't care. I need to get in. I don't care if I have to work in the mailroom. I'll do a janitor's job. I will work on the roof. I will spackle. Whatever the fuck. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna get in Discovery Channel. That's gonna happen." I believe what I want will come true, and I'll show you. I'm gonna even up to this date, things that have happened like that. So, anyway, she gave him my resume, and a couple months went by. I was working for a real estate I've told this story, I'm sure. I was a real estate assistant, and I got sexually harassed horribly. It was, like, the worst. Eventually, I quit and I lost he still owes me $800. I'm gonna find that motherfucker. Can you imagine I come back 20 years later? More than 20 years? Wait, no. Yeah, more than 20 years later. Because I was 22. That pervert, oh my god, he was the worst. He touched my leg and told me I was beautiful, and, like, he would take me to weird places for meetings. Oh god, the memories. But anyway, so I was doing that job. I quit. My dad was so mad, but I was like, if I tell my dad what this guy's saying and doing, my dad's gonna end up in jail. So I had to make a choice. So I chose to shut up and just take the heat from my dad. He's like, "You never take a job without another job lined up." And I was like, "Don't worry, I'll get a job, Dad." And I did. Timing was great. Right after that, it was like a week later, my friend, the dude she knew in the mailroom of Discovery, reached out and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna send your resume to this person. There's someone with a leg injury, like they're getting a surgery. They're gonna be gone for 3 weeks." And I was like, "Oh, cool, in the mailroom?" And he was like, "No, in the library, we call it." So the library was where all of Discovery Channel housed its like digibeta tapes, we used to call them. But they're just they were back in the olden days before streaming and all this stuff, little kids. Now before streaming, um, and I guess it wasn't DVDs. I did work with DVDs too eventually, but that year it was like all about the SVHS, digibetas. So it was like the tapes, right? So it was the library, and I don't remember the first job what I did exactly, but I remember I did it. I did it hard. I was very focused. I'm a hard worker. I get shit done fast. So I was there for 3 weeks, and then it got extended, I think. I think she wasn't healing as fast as she thought. So it was like 6 weeks or something. I think 6 weeks. And then I got booted out. It was like, "Okay, thanks for your time here." And I was like, "Okay, well, on to the next." So I started applying for other jobs, and in the midst of that, I think a week or so later, I got a call from another department called quality control, right? In Discovery. And this man called, a man child, no, I'm just kidding. This man called and said, "Hi, is this Christy?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "We'd like to bring you in for an interview." And I was like, "Oh, okay, for what?" And he's like, "Quality control." And I was like, "I'm in." So I remember going to Express. Can you take it? The 22-year-old me going to Express to find a chic suit. I got an Express suit that, was tight. Like, I mean, I was like a hooker in a suit, basically. It was so I still remember. I'm gonna do like picture it, Sicily. Okay, it was black or navy blue. It was really, I think it was black with like little pinstripes. It was very in, and it was like tailored and tucked, right? Look, and they were short sleeves. I had a short sleeve suit. I was chic. This was 2003. I was gorgeous in my suit. I straight ironed my hair. If you don't remember back in 2003, this was very in. Okay, so picture me. No, that's not a good look at all. And so I went in for this interview, having no idea what it was. And I go in, and it's him and this woman, this blonde lady. Oh my gosh. I just right away felt a vibe with her. And I was like, I think I remember her from before. So they interview me, and I get the job. It's a quality control coordinator. I mean, right out of school, not bad. It wasn't too shabby. I think I'm trying to remember. The pay was like 34,000, I think, starting. I think it was 34. And I was like, I should get 40, but okay. I remember being like, I need to start. 40 was my number. I thought it was ridiculous not to make under 40, which maybe it was, but I took my 34,000. I was so excited. I was in Discovery, like actually in, right? Like not in the mailing room, not doing janitor, like I was in. So I was very excited. And it was like a really cool environment, very cool people. And my, so my direct boss was the woman, the blonde, and then my high boss was the man. The direct boss, we still talk to this day. I freaking love her. I always called her my surrogate mama, but really she was not old enough to be my mama, but she was older than me. She was 37 when I met her, and I was 23. And she said, "I watched you." And this is just so cool. I just love this. She's like, "I watched you when you were filling in for Ginger." She goes, I noticed you. I was like, that girl's a hard ass worker. Like, I mean, I'm fun. I have fun. We had a great time at lunch. I'd come and visit people here and there and sprinkle my joy around a little bit, but I'm a hard worker. And she noticed it. I didn't even know she noticed. I didn't know she noticed. And she said, I was like, that girl's a really hard worker. I want her on our team. And she went to the big boss and said, what can we put her in? Like, where's an opening? I want this girl, when she's done filling in, I want her to like join us. And he was like, there's no jobs. She said, "Do you know anyone hiring at the tech center?" So there's the headquarters, which I was at eventually, and the tech center in Silver Spring, Maryland. They're kind of close to each other, but the tech center is like more the techie stuff. And so we were there, and she was like, "Do you know anyone else like in the tech center?" That, and he's like, "No." And then she said, I think it was her who said, like, I think it came from her, not him, I believe, that she said, "Well, then we need to create a position for her." And so they did. They created an extra position. They went and got, that's what took a week or two, whatever, till they called me to get approval to create a new job for me, which is like, so, I mean, do you know how great that felt at 22 years old I mean, I don't know, just I was so grateful for her. She's really awesome. But that's something where it's like, manifestation. I mean, there's the woo woo manifestation. I feel like I always prayed. It wasn't like, it was like more like, God, I really want this. Show me the path to get there. Like, mindset is so important. So that's my message here today. And there's so many other things like that. I mean, it's insane. Even like, I don't like pitching myself, right? I don't like selling myself. And this whole thing with my podcast mentor was like, you need to pitch yourself to other podcasts. That's how you're going to grow your audience. You have to write these emails, and they have templates of emails that are like, "Hi, I've been watching your podcast for X amount of time, and I love that you said blah, blah, blah in episode blah, blah, blah." Like, it's so inauthentic. I can't take it. Like, I'm not inauthentic. Yes, Marie, they did. Like, it's not my vibe. And so I prayed to God, and I was like, "God, show me a way I can grow my audience, or like I would love to go on someone's podcast that I really like, though." And within the next 2 weeks, one of my well, she was like my mentor and business coach, and we're friends, like, we're really friends now. She was like, "Hey, I want you to be on my podcast." I was like, "That's so awesome, blah, blah, blah." So we just recorded a podcast, and then this other woman who I don't have a lot of experience with, um, she's a big name. I don't wanna say it till I've done it for some reason, but she's a big name in the motivational speaker. She was a blogger, motivational speaker, author. She's a big name. She's got hundreds of thousands of followers. And her and I were talking, and I was talking about the narcissism thing, and she said, "I think you should do that on the podcast, talk about that." And I said, "Oh, I did on, like, episode 4, I talked about that." And she's like, "No, no, on my podcast." And I was like, "Where?" Yes, Marie, exactly. Exactly. That vibe is not good. So then we're talking more, and she goes, I think we need 2 episodes. Sign up for 2 podcast episodes." I'm like, "What's happening?" Literally, I didn't have to pitch to anybody. This is my thing. When you're living authentically, and you pray for something, and it's in a wholesome way, you're not like being greedy. It's like more like, I want to be on someone's podcast so I can grow, but not for my own greed, but because too many people go through abuse, and I want to reach as many people as I can. It's not about me, or like getting the clout, or getting the likes, but those likes to me represent the people that I can help. The views represent the people I can help. So they do matter to me. It's not in a vanity way, though. It's like I feel like I'm getting older and time's going so fast. Yes, God answered my prayers. But I think it also has to come from an authentic place of what is your why, you know? Not just like, "Oh, I want a red sports car because it's badass," right? No. It's like, I want XYZ to happen because I want to help impact the world in a good way. I wanna every day, and I've said this a million times, I'm gonna say it again, someone needs to hear this. Every day when I pray in the morning, I say, "God, shine the light on my path. I want you to show me my purpose for today." That's the best prayer. If you don't know what to pray, pray that. He knew my intention. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, how can I walk in my purpose today? How can I do that? Show me. I want to know and I want to do that. You have to want it and you have to also have faith. There's a lot of non-believers, and I'm not just talking about in the JC sector. I'm talking about in ourselves. There's a lot of people that don't have faith in themselves or think something's too big. I've gotten to a point, like, it doesn't even matter. I have faith that God brought me here for a specific reason, and only He knows that reason. I don't know. I don't know the exact reason. I will say I figure it out by listening. My ears perk up when I get a nudge. Like, let's use the podcast. So I do this podcast. If you don't know, you're new, whatever. I do a podcast called But Still She Thrives. It's for very specific. It's for people who've gone through narcissistic abuse and want peace and freedom in their life. Like, you're already out of the situation or you're almost out and you want to start healing and thriving. Like, this is the thing. You have to at least be at the point where you can fathom that you can heal, because that's part of it, is that faith that, like, despite my circumstances, despite what society has told me, despite what maybe your own family told you growing up, I was told I was stupid by someone in my family all the time. I was told, good thing I was pretty. Okay, this don't look so pretty right now, but put a little makeup and 20 years younger, maybe I was all right. No, but I was told, good thing you're pretty because you're stupid. I was It was dug into my brain that I was stupid, and I'm not stupid. And it took a while to discover that. Um, but that's the thing. We have to push through these stories. We have to say, what story's holding me back? And this is a good exercise for everybody, okay? Think about this, okay? No matter who you are, you probably have a story or two. What is the story that holds me back from, like, if you're good in your life, that's fine. This isn't for you. If you feel like you're made for more or you want more out of your life, what is it? What's the story holding you back from that? Like, think about it for a minute. What's the story? Is it like, "Oh, I could never do that because I'm" you think you're just not, like, made for that? You think you're not that special or that worthy? You don't think you're capable? That was a really big word for me. Because of how I was treated as a kid, I always told myself I always wanted to have my own business. But I worked, like I said, I worked at Discovery Channel for years, then I worked at a school, and it was always like, "Oh, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do this on my own. I wish I." And then one day, when I was doing this work, this healing, the juju woo woo, no, when I was really, like, doing this self work, I was like, "Hold on. Why do I think I can't do that? Who told me I couldn't?" Like, there are other people in the world, right, that work for themselves or do XYZ. Whatever's on your mind that you're thinking of right now, that you feel is out of touch, it's out of reach, there are other people doing it. Who told you you couldn't do that? Or why do you feel you couldn't do that? I know what mine was. I had a couple people in my life basically saying, very chauvinistic family, women don't do that sort of thing, right? Women are kinda seen and not heard. So that got in my head, and I was like, "I'm not capable of having my own business, I'm not." it wasn't even a thought. Like I wouldn't even consider having my own business. But 2019, boy, that year blew my life up. And that was the year I actually got my own life coach. And I was like, oh, because I had been staying home as a stay-at-home mom, not happy being a stay-at-home mom. I love staying home and being able to be with my daughter as much as I could. But I needed something for myself. I knew there was more for me. I felt more unworthy than ever. I felt like people looked down on me for being a stay-at-home mom. All my friends had these careers, and all of a sudden I was a stay-at-home mom. But I loved being there, and it was important to me. I had a single mom who couldn't be there as much. So I was like, I want to be there for my daughter. So I was like, how can I do both? In 2019, I got the life coach. We started talking, and something clicked in me where she said, you're one of those 10 percenters that you have the belief in there and you just have to do it. Like there's 10% of us in the world that are out of the box and we just don't fit in to the norm of society. And I believe in you, she said. And it was like, I might get emotional here, but it was like almost the first person to really say, like, I believe in you and you can do it. And I was like, I don't know the first thing about business. She said, you don't have to. You should just step. And I remember having this vision. She said, just step into it. And I remember envisioning stepping into, I don't know why, I saw like a creek with water and a rock and stepping my foot into it. And she was like, just step into it. Just step into it. And I was like, okay. So I literally, that next week, I put it out there on Facebook on purpose and was like, because I was like, if I put it out here, it's out there. And I wrote a post and said, I am now a life coach. Like, how fucking weird is that, right? Just like, I'm now a life coach. I've declared it. And in that first week, I got 2 clients and then more. And then I did group coaching. And then during the pandemic, the hardest, that was so hard. Like, try to build a business in the pandemic. That was fun. While you're homeschooling your daughter, I was homeschooling Cora, and I was like, I will not give up on myself in this business. That was really hard. I mean, I'll be honest, I had a couple breakdowns. I did. A couple cracks. Where I mean, nobody saw it but me. It was in like the wee hours of the night, and I just broke down crying. I was like, God, I don't know if I can handle all this, you know? And he was like, yes, you can. I just remember him always saying, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And I did. And I got my yin yoga certification. I started teaching yoga online. I got my Reiki master certification. I wrote a book all during the pandemic, all during Crazy Town, while still being present in there for my daughter, right? Because we can do all things. We can create the life we want. And I know I sound like a cheesy motivational speaker. Like I get it. I get you. You're probably like, who's this crazy lady on a weird couch with weird Southwestern? Look at that. But look at that cactus though. Um, but I'm going to tell you, mindset is such an important thing. This is full circle back to this because I had no idea what I was capable of until I took that step. Like, I thank God for that life coach who said, just step into it. Just do it. Step in it. You will never know unless you try. And I had my whole life, my grandfather always said, Carmine, we were very Italian, okay? We got a very Italian family. I'm half Irish, so my skin is Irish, guys. My roots, they're Italian. I remember, real quick side note, The first time I met my ex-boyfriend's mother, she goes, "You're Italian just like us." They were Italian. She's like, "You're Italian." She goes, "Your skin is your skin isn't Italian, but your nose is." And I was like, "Thanks, I guess." Um, so anyway, I digress. I get squirrel. I like ADHD all over here. Whatever. Own it. Love it. It's part of me. I'm not gonna change it. I'm not even gonna take medicine, motherfucker. This is 0F summer. I'm not doing shit about shit. But I never felt capable until I actually just stepped in and tried. And my grandfather always said, try, give yourself a chance to fail. And every other, so I saw my grandparents every other weekend. My parents are divorced. Every other weekend, I go to my dad's house. Every time we're at my dad's house, Sundays was like grandparents the whole day. Like if you're Italian, you get there, it's meals from like 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. Like you just eat, you're like a stuffed turkey. You turn real fat overnight. Your grandfather screams wop and guinea and all these like racist terms. And at 14 years old, he actually said the N word, and I yelled at him and left the house. Okay, that's Italians for you. But hopefully we're a little better now. But anyway, so, but he always said that literally every other weekend he'd say, try, give yourself a chance to fail. What I feel a difference of that is like, I don't think there is failure if you try. I feel like I like that he said that because it always had me thinking, like, always try. And I would. I tried a lot of things that I didn't want to because he'd say, try. It's kind of like that same mentality of like, at least you know if you're going to fail. To me, I don't think it's failing. I think if you try, it's not failing. I think if you don't try, that's failing, right? That's my idea about it. Um, but I I really didn't feel capable until I tried. And my point here is I don't want to leave this earth. And that's why maybe I've stayed in some relationships too long. I had an ex-boyfriend's a piece of crap poo-poo, right? Like we were not good for each other. I stayed until I felt like I would have no questions, no regrets. Is it the healthiest? I don't know. But I know damn well, like there's no question. Sometimes you come out of a relationship and you're like, what could have been? Maybe. Like, there was no question. I was done. And same with friendships. Sometimes I exhaust friendships so much. I give people multiple chances after they've been dickwads. Let's be honest. Cheers to dickwads. Our dickwad friends that are gone now. We like that. But I don't want dickwad friends. But it just didn't work out, right? Like I don't like to blame. I don't like to have bad energy. I don't hate anybody. I don't have ill feelings toward any of my exes, toward any of my friendships. It's it is what it is and it should be simpler. I feel like in elementary school, especially elementary into high school, there should be classes on relationships. Isn't that just as important as fucking physics? I barely passed physics. I could teach relationships now. Let me teach a relationship class. But I think it is weird. I do. I think it's weird. I was talking about this with a friend 2 days ago. Like, I just think it's odd there's no relationship classes. It would help us a lot, wouldn't it? Like, just first of all, screen out all the assholes. And the assholes may end up being better and growing up as better people because no one's accepting them into their circles because they're like, did you see on page 4C? This type of person's an asshole. You kind of look like 4C. I see a match. I see a match. And then this guy's like, oh, I'm going to do better. Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, it would. It'd be fabulous. Okay, I want to show you my new glasses. Not like these glasses, but like drinking glasses. Hold on. Don't look. I have no bra on. I told you it's PJs all day. Hold on. I'm going to grab a glass from here. I was going to use it tonight, but I didn't wash it. But look at these. Does this give you those vintage 70s vibe? This is, I got them at Target. They're Libby. They match my decor back there. Isn't it beautiful? The frosted glass. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Like I'm rare kidding me? Aren't these pretty though? They were $40 for 4, which I feel like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I feel a little, I got 5% off though. With Target. So if you're a red card member, aren't they pretty, Marie? Yes. Red card member. Dun, dun, dun. I love these though. Look, it's like summer vibes. Oh, by the way, Marie, I put in that little thing. We booked a trip to Virginia Beach in August. I'm so excited. We're gonna be at the Hilton right on the beach. And I said to my husband, I'm like, this is a ridiculous amount of money. Like, prices have gone up with everything, right? After the pandemic, I feel like everything's gone up. Food, clothes, trips, gas. And I said to him, I was like, we could if we have to, we can stay off. Like we usually stay off the beach. And he said, it'd be nice to stay on it. I feel like let's just splurge a little. We haven't been going the last few years because with COVID, we weren't traveling as much. Last year we went to Ocean City though, in Maryland, but we're going to go Virginia Beach. His sister lives there. And I'm so excited. So excited. So it's going to be right on the beach, the Hilton. It's like the newer one, the Garden Inn, I think it's called. Everything is high. Yeah. We're just all broke. It's fine. It's fine. No, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. And by okay, I mean broke. So it has an indoor outdoor pool, it has a little restaurant in there, and so my husband's sister lives in Virginia Beach. So we're gonna be able to hang out with her. I love her. His whole family is like magical humans. It's weird. It's like the Brady Bunch. I'm like, tell me your dark secrets. He's like, we don't have any. I'm like, that's not fair. I had dark secrets and dark external things that everybody saw. So I feel very lucky. I do wish summer was year round. This is my thing about Maryland. Like I was saying, Montgomery County, freaking amazing. I love this place. It's better than like so many places in the world. Well, I can't say that. I haven't been everywhere in the world, but I love it. I love the culture. I love the diversity, but I could do without winter. Like I know some people are like, "Oh, winter, it's nice," and especially with the holidays. I'll take it the holidays with it, like, a couple weeks, that'd be nice around Christmas, 2 weeks, and then the rest is, like, spring, summer. Fall's actually not bad. I will say, I really am only half miserable. I'm never fully miserable, but I am half miserable inside. You know that underlying, like, yucky? I do feel like that from January 1st, because like, through, Thanksgiving, and then it's, like, Christmas season, and we go see the lights, and, like, it's like, "Holly jolly Christmas," right? I don't know who's singing over here, it's a weird guy with long nails. Um, that's cool. January 1st hits, I'm like, "Have a holly" like, it's immediate, I'm just like, "Oh, fuck," you know? So from January actually, so it's 2 months, because once it hits okay, that's not that bad. I mean, I'd still like to not have those 2 months of sadness, but when it hits March 1st, I feel like I start pumping myself up. Like, this year it worked. March 1st, I was like, "Oh my god, spring's right around the corner. Oh my god, spring's so close, spring's so close." I amped myself up and it actually worked, you know? So it's really just January, February. It's 8 weeks of the whole year. That's not that bad. Stop being a baby. Anyone ever see the movie Welcome to the Dollhouse? Please comment. Welcome to the Dollhouse. Welcome to It is the weirdest movie ever. My friend showed me when we were, like, probably 15, 16 maybe. It's like an indie film. I think it's indie film. It was so bizarre and crazy, like, really weird, but it became our favorite movie that we would show everybody and anybody. And funny story, I met my husband. So first of all, I don't know why I got a southern accent on you. First of all, um, our first date, which wasn't a date, okay? It was his brother telling me his brother needed friends, and I'm very social. He's like, "Come on, just get him out." And then I'm like, "All right, I'll meet him. I'll meet up with them." So I was like, "Let's go to Uncle Julio's," which is this Tex-Mex place. And he was like, "Oh, that's my favorite place." And I was like, "Oh, cool." Again, not thinking it would be a date. It's kind of like we're just not even a date. We're just hanging out. So January and February blue for you too. Love March. March, you're getting there, right, Marie? Yes. So we met up at this place and I saw him and I remember literally, even though he wasn't my technical type, I'll be honest. He knows. I don't know why I'm whispering like it's some secret. He wasn't like my typical type. I like the badass, but he was Italian, so he had that going for him. But I saw him and I remember thinking like, "Oh, he's kind of cute." Damn. Well, that's what I thought. I was like, "He's kind of cute." Damn. Well, we'll see. We'll see. And we sat at dinner. We had our Tex-Mex, our tacos, and I remember he didn't this is so funny. He didn't order an alcohol drink, and I thought that was so weird because, apparently I hang out with a bunch of alcoholics. I was like, "Are you okay? You okay?" Um, I thought it was so bizarre he didn't order alcohol, but he doesn't drink. My man doesn't drink. I do, though. I do. He drives me around. Cheers. No. So then, hold on. Our first date, so went to this restaurant, had Tex-Mex. Then we went to this place called Cozy, C-O-S-I, Cozy, cute, adorable place, and you make s'mores there. They have sandwiches and stuff too, but they're known for their s'mores. Like, you legit have, like, a little, gel fire place, and you put in the middle of your table, and you, like, hold your little stick with your little marshmallow, and you, like it's so cute. You get to, like, toast marshmallows, right? Toast? Why does it sound weird? You toast marshmallows at your table, and then they give you the Hershey's chocolate and the graham crackers, and you smush them up, and you have yourself a little s'mores, and it's the cutest little date idea, right? So we had s'mores, and then we were like, didn't wanna leave each other, so Christy was like, "Shit, shit, shit. I don't wanna date." I was on a dating hiatus. I had been on a dating hiatus after this guy sent me bus tickets to meet him for our date. I was like, "No, I'm gonna be a nun. I'm gonna be a fucking nun. That's it." And then here comes Mike, being all cute, taking me to Tex-Mex and Cozy. And so we didn't wanna leave each other. So we walked around. Oh, there was this oh gosh, this is kind of embarrassing. Not embarrassing, but we went to this art museum and um it was like so Bethesda's the place we went in Maryland. If you're familiar with Maryland at all, Bethesda, it's like kind of close to DC. There's a metro right there. It'll take you to DC. Anyway, it's like a suburban but like urbanish area. A lot of shops and restaurants, whatever. Right? So we were walking around. I'm like, oh, there's this little art museum, but gallery. But it was like small. And we're looking and I see Gibbon monkey painting. And I got so excited because I had just learned that week that the gibbon monkey did this and made a weird noise. I don't remember it now. But I was like, "Oh my god." I was like and I turned to Mike, poor Mike, on our first date. I'm like, "Did you know?" I was like, "This is a gibbon monkey." And I start, like, so loud. I'm, like, scratching my pit. I'm going, "Ah!" Like some weird fucking gibbon monkey noise. And I think that's when he knew he should leave. No, I'm just kidding. He actually was, like, cracking up. We were just cracking up about it and, like, being stupid. Um, so we were just walking around having a good time. I just stabbed myself in the eye with this fucking nail I gotta get rid of. They're too long. They're too long. They're like claws. But so then I played him. I remember he had like an old phone. I was like, "Can you get with us in the new times?" He's like 7 years older too. So I always make fun of him like he's in the olden days. I was like, "Can you like fast forward and be in our time and like get a new phone?" Because his phone like would barely play a video. But do you remember when this little boy played the piano to Lady Gaga's Paparazzi? His name is Grayson. I literally just looked it up 2 days ago, which is weird because I had not listened to it, I think, since the night Mike and I actually met. Um, but he was amazing. If you type in Grayson, Lady Gaga, he's doing, like, a school talent show. He's playing the piano, he's like, "Paparazzi, na 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 na." Amazing kid. I don't know, he was probably, like, 10 years old, 9 years old, something ridiculously years old. So I made him watch that. We were, like, watching videos. He was showing me videos, I was showing him. "What's up, Jonesy? Welcome." Um, I was talking about me and Mike's first date, actually. And so we were playing these videos back and forth, and then there was, like, a fire, so it was all excitement. It was so fun, so fun. There was a fire truck, so we ran and we're like, "Woo." Of course, I wanted to be a firefighter. Like, I'm very save the world. Mike's very introverted. So I was like, "Should I jump in?" And Mike's like, "Mm." Aw, thank you, honey. You're so sweet. I hope you had a great day too. Um, I hope all of your YouTubing is going well today. Um, so we walked and talked and it was like 1:30 a.m. and he walked me to his car. And I remember, cause mind you, I was used to drinkers and, rapers. No, I'm just kidding, that's horrible. And I have been, so I can say it. Is that like a thing? No. But anyway, um, a more aggressive guys, I'll say. And he was so polite. He literally just hugged me goodnight. He didn't even go in for a kiss. So I was like, is this guy gay? I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I really was like, maybe he's gay or like, what's going on? Because I was so used to guys being so aggressive. Isn't that sad that that's the world we live in? I'm like, hands down, he's gay if he didn't try to hump me that night. Um, so our next date though, um, I was in a little black dress, a little saucier. The first date, I didn't even know it was a date, right? We didn't plan a date. The second time it was obviously a date. He was like, we kind of expressed our interest in each other. He was like, "Let me pick you up, take you out." We went to Cheesecake Factory. I had a little black dress on, and we made out in the car. No, but it was then I felt better. I was like, "Okay, he's got a little game on him. Alright." And then we were honestly inseparable. Like, I mean, not physically, but we talked every day. We hung out from that point on, we hung out at least 4 days a week, then it got more and more, and then I moved in with my friend but I was at his place more than hers. Then, I was at his apartment a lot, right? And then I was like, "I ain't moving in. I ain't moving in with no motherfucker unless I got a ring on it, okay?" Like, I was real bossy. I was real bossy about that. I was very much like, "No, like, unless you know you wanna be with me the rest of your life, I'm not moving in with you, right?" So, here's the secret, if you don't know, I know I've shared this, Marie, you might know this, but Mike and I broke up. It was at the 1-year mark, and I remember thinking, like, "It's been a year. If he don't know." 'Cause I know, like, I knew I wanted to be with him. I knew he was, like, my person, and I felt like He hasn't proposed yet, I'm out. It was maybe a little dramatic, it was maybe a little, I had always done that, but it's usually, like, after 2 months. Like, people at my work, even that old boss, the blonde lady I told you about earlier, were very much like, I was very how do you say it? I don't know, 2-month itch instead of, like, whatever, 7-year itch. It was a 2-month itch, right? So, it was like the joke, and everyone would be like, "Oh, who's the person you're dumping?" Because I would dump everybody. It was horrible, but it was like the 2-month itch. I just it was a but keep in mind, okay? This is trauma. This is what I went through in my childhood led me to this where I was scared to get hurt, so I would basically at 2 months is kind of when you get comfortable with people, I think. And so when I'd start to get comfortable, I'd push them away, dump them because it was like, get rid of them before what if they get rid of me, right? Like it was my own insecurity of that. So, but with Mike and I just I wasn't afraid really. I just knew, I had a knowing. I felt like, "Oh my god, this is so easy." I was a little scared. I felt like it was too easy. Like I was so used to kinda like drama and whatever. Like my ex-boyfriend before that, there was drama. Before that, there was, and Mike was so easy. I was almost like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Flow. Oh my gosh. Hello. Oh, let's cheers to you. Can we cheers to Flow? Oh my gosh, it's been so long since you've been on here. That is awesome. So I'm talking about, I don't even know, I'm rambling on as usual. So, mm, let me show you my cute new glass because this is important. Target, Libby brand, vintage frosted palm trees. Woo! It's been super long. I mean, that's insane. I can't believe you're here. This is so cool. Um, so we were like inseparable. And like week 3, he asked me, "Oh, happy birthday." Hold on. We're going to sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Flo. Happy birthday to you. Bloop, 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 bloop. Yay. Happy birthday. Everyone say happy birthday in the chat. I love that. Yes, come in time and on your birthday? Like, are you kidding? This is destino. It is written in the stars. Okay. So picture it, Sicily. No, so but it was very much like we were just basically up each other's bungholes. But we broke up a year in. It was me. I did the breaking up, which instead of 2 months, the push, oh yay, Marie, it was I mean, I was scared. I think it was just fear of like, well, what if he doesn't want to be with me? Even though he'd been with me a year, there's no sign he was trying to get away. But in my mind, I felt like it's been a year. I know I want to, and I haven't been proposed to. So I literally broke up with him. Yeah, say hi to your Jonesy. So I broke up with him. And he was not exactly excited about that. And I even went on a date with another guy, and, like, he had called me that night, I remember, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm going out." And he's like, "With who?" And I was like, "Well, I'm going out with this person, and this guy." He was like, "Is it like a date?" I was like, "Kind of." And I was like, "You snooze, you lose, motherfucker." But, like, that's how I felt. I was very much like, "You know what? If you don't know you want to definitely be with me, you're not ready to propose, we're this age." I mean, he's 7 years older, so I don't know, we were older. I did sabotage it, I did. But in my mind, Marie, you have to, like, from a person who it was like I and it's horrible, like, I mean, it's bad that's what happened, but it was like from my childhood shit, from my own worries of, like, not being good enough or whatever, right? Let's be vulnerable and real. That's where it came from, and I was like, I really believed it though. That's the thing. It's like, it's not just like oh, I'm doing it out of spite. Or like, I firmly believed in my mind, like, if you don't know by now, I'm out. So I broke it off. We were apart for a week. I went on a date, basically like a group date. Like other people were there. But I mean, this guy, he had written me and was like, "Oh, I heard you broke up with your boyfriend." He's like, and he even wrote, like, "I've been waiting for you to break up with him because I want to hang out with you." Yeah, he wasn't, yeah, exactly, Marie. And so, but then, I don't know, we ended up talking and he essentially said, "Look, I know I want to be with you. I kind of just have to get my ducks in a row." And I was like, "Boo, you get your ducks in a row." Like, I remember that triggering me for some reason. I was like, "Okay, get your ducks in a row, dude." Quack, quack. I said, like, quack, quack. I think I said quack, quack in our conversation. You remember the story? Yeah. So that didn't help. And that was like, I don't know, halfway through the week. I was like, quack, quack, get your ducks in a row, blah, blah. Like, just blah, 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 blah. And then by the end of the week, though, something happened where I was like, I don't know, I softened a little bit. I think I missed him. I think I felt like in my heart, like I knew he was meant for me, but I was trying to push it away. I was scared. I think I was scared. Um, and I remember my brother calling me and he was like, "Christy, please don't fuck this up." And I was like, "I'm not fucking it up. He hasn't proposed." And he said, "Don't be like dad." Sorry, Dad. My dad doesn't watch this. If he does, sorry, Dad. I love you. You're great. Everybody loves you. You're awesome. No, but he said, "Don't be like Dad," and that hit me. And so I did a little self awareness, and I didn't tell Mike, but in my head, I was like, if I'm not sure he's gonna propose in the next 3 months, because he's saying he's ready, he just has to. Okay, in the next 3 months, this was in my head. Whatever. So we ended up dating. We got back together, and I didn't tell him what was going on in my head, but then I remember seeing he had circled a ring, an engagement ring. I saw it on the counter, like, on the side. There was, like, he had circled a ring in there, and then my friend, like, his best friend's wife messaged me and was like, "Psst, Mike is asking for help on your ring from my husband." Or boyfriend. I forget if they were engaged, I think, at the time too. Um, so I was like, okay, he's getting there. He's getting there. So far off from what I wanted to do, we started looking at houses, and he was saying, he was like, "I want to be with you. We're gonna get married." So I felt more secure. We started looking at houses in Virginia, and I fell in love with this fucking house. I fell in love immediately. And I looked at him, I was like, "Shit, we're not engaged. I can't do this." And he was like, "We're gonna be engaged. I don't wanna ruin it. I don't want, like, don't mess up your own engagement though," you know? He's like, I'm we're gonna be together. We're gonna get married. If you're in love with this house, let's get it." I was terrified, but I just felt like it was the right house. And so we put a bid on it. We won. We got the bid. Um we were in there, so we moved in on the 21st of October, and the neighbors were amazing, and, like, everyone had kids and whatever, and we plan on having kids, right? We plan on having more kids, but my little uterus didn't wanna, she wasn't acting right, so we adopted one. If you don't know, I have an adoptive daughter. I could not have my own children. I don't know why that just hit. I've never gotten upset about that. That's weird. So We moved in October 21st, and then, like, our neighbors were so sweet and invited us to the Halloween party. I remember it was, like, such a big deal to me because they included us and, like, they were just awesome. And then the next weekend was my husband's birthday, right? Well, we were engaged then, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna take him out to this new Italian place because he's Italian, we're Italian." And I was so excited, and so I told him, I said, "Look, we're gonna go to this restaurant for your birthday." And he's like, "Oh, that's great." So we get there. Here's where the engagement story happens. Stay tuned. So we get to this place, El Forneo, something. It was so good. Oh my god. Oh my god. The food was so good. And so we eat our meal, and I noticed, like, the staff was ultra awesome and amazing. I'm like, "God, you guys are amazing." And I kept saying, like, "The service is awesome." And then they dropped down the dessert menu, and so I'm sitting there reading it, and I'm looking, and I'm like, "Hmm." And I was like, I go, "Oh, that's so weird. It says Mirabella, haha." Because sometimes, like, last names will show up in Italian, like, even when we were on our Italian honeymoon later, um, last names, if they're common, can show up in, like, oh, it's like a Cafe Mirabello, right? Like, that's our last name. And that seems to be common. There's a makeup company called Mirabello. So at that point, I knew there's a makeup company, so it wasn't, like, that crazy. So it said something Mirabello, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so weird, it has Mirabello, that's so cool." And then I'm reading the rest of that dessert item, so I was like, "Oh, it's the Mirabello something, that's so cool." I thought it was really neat. It's like his birthday, Mirabello. So I was like, "Eh," and it said ET, like A, I think, Barbadesi, and I'm like, I've never seen my last name on anything. I was like, "This is so cool." Like, I'm just, like, a nerd being, like, nerded out, like, "This is so cool," and I'm, like, reading, and it's, like, it was, like, the union of Mirabello and Bavaresi, da, da, and then it said, "Here's to 40 more, or 40 more years of love and laughter," and I'm like, and, like, it's like when that happens, you're, like, processing and, like, everything slows down, you're like, "What's happening?" I'm, like, rereading it and just like, "What?" And then I'm like, "What?" And I look up, and then he's down on his knee in the restaurant, which for my husband, if you know, that that is insane. I I would never, my husband's the most introverted mofo in the world. I still can't believe he got down on his knee in public. So he's down on his knee with a box and a ring, and I'm like, and I just am laughing. I can't even, and he's like, "Christy Barbarisi, will you marry me?" And I was like, like, I couldn't even I just was laughing. Like, I literally did not say yes for, like, a good minute, I think. I should ask him how long it was. It seemed like a while, and then I was like, Yes." And everyone was like, all these people, you look around, like, everyone was in on it, all the wait staff, like, everyone was in on this thing, like, he had this whole thing printed out, even though I planned the night, he somehow, it was just crazy, and, like, everyone's clapping and cheering, and, like, we had champagne. It was really, really an awesome experience, so that's my, engagement story. That's my squirrel story, which I have no idea where it came from, but I will say, yes, I will say, Flo, I know you came in late. I do want the message of this to be that you can create you can create your life. You can create your own reality. You can create time in a way, right? Like, your intention is so important, and your mindset is so important. Just I was talking about, even, like, I connected with this, like, mentor or person I looked up to with hundreds of thousands of followers. She asked me to be on her podcast, right? Like, and that's because I prayed for it and I put an intention on it. Not the specific thing, but just like, God, show me my purpose and help me reach more people. Like, I pleaded, like, I want to reach more people, but I can't do the sleazy sales shit. Like, I can't do it. That's not me. So he's like, here's another way. And he showed me the way, right? So I want you guys to just go away from with tonight. Like, have faith. Like, what is it you want in this life? Really ask yourself. I do, because I've been on this like self growth journey since I'm 14. I was always at the library looking like at self help books and whatever. I've just always been into this because I did therapy start when I was 14, right? But not a lot of people aren't. And that's okay. But if you're on here, there's a reason. So I want you to stop and think, what do I want in my life? Who do I want to be in my life? What's truly important to me? Not what society says is important, not what society or your family thinks is best for you. Like, who do you want to be? What do you want? And pray for it. If you're not a God person, fine. I really don't give a shit. Whoever, whatever, your higher self, universe, whatever it is, put intention on it and say, like, release the hold, release the control. We try so hard to control everything where guys, we don't have control over a lot, you know? Like, what is it you want? Ask for it and release it. You know, that's what I've been doing. And I can't believe this last year, like the amazing crap that's happened. It's insane. Literally, this person who has hundreds of thousands of followers that I could hopefully help asked me to be on her show without me even, it wasn't even a thought in my mind to even ask her to be on her show. And she asked me. And it's not because I'm so special or so important or so amazing and different from everyone else. That's not it. It's that I really do believe that I put intention and I ask God for it. I asked God for a tribe. I got a tribe. I literally asked God one time for $10,000 for my daughter's school because I want to put her in private school and I couldn't afford it. It was like before the pandemic, so that kind of fucked things up. But that is literally that week, my husband got a bonus for exactly the amount we needed. So I'm just trying. I say this, I don't like to talk about money. I don't like to put it in money aspects because it's not just money, but I do that cuz people pay attention to money, and I think it can give hope of like it was that crazy. It was that specific, you know? So have faith. Like what and it might be $10,000, but it's got to be a good reason. It's not, again, we're not saying, "Oh, I want a fast car so I can be cool." That's not it, sis. Right? I had my reasons. I really wanted my daughter out of the school she was in. She's getting bullied. It was bad. I wanted her out. I wanted her in private school. And I was like, "Can we afford it?" Please, God, literally the next week that happened, that's crazy, right? But that I do believe in it and I have faith in it. And the more you have faith in it, the more shit happens. So what is it you want? That's not selfish. Exactly. Maybe it's a little selfish, but not like red Corvette selfish. But what is it you want for yourself? What is it you want for your life? What do you want to leave the world? What do you want to leave behind? It's been a long journey, but I've been trying to be more positive. Good. I still have a long ways to go. Now, don't give up. And I would love to help you in any way I can, Flo. Like, that is what I do now. I don't know if you know that. I was a life coach working with stay-at-home moms. And now I'm working specifically with people who've been through abuse, but I still work with people who haven't been through abuse. Like, I work with whoever needs to, because part of it is accountability. Part of it is just having someone there once a week to push you through and guide you and help you. I have my own because I need it too. It's your life. I'm just saying, your life, I truly believe your life is 50% better, maybe more, if you have someone holding you accountable every week. No matter what it is, a therapist, a coach, maybe it's a personal trainer, maybe it's like if you're in a specific class. But if you have somebody once a week that expects you to show up, you show up better and your life really gets better. So I don't know if you're looking for guidance, Flo. I'll put my email in here if you want to email me. Hold on. Boop. fiercemamacy@gmail. Any of you guys email me anytime. This is my specialty, and I take my clients through a process quickly. Like, I'm not a fuck around and like try to milk it. Like, I want you to get results very quickly. It's like a blessing and a curse, they call it, right? It's a blessing and a curse. Because I love helping people. I love helping people go fast. And sometimes I've had multiple people have one call with me and they're supposed to have more. And they say, I've gotten so much from this call. I feel like I don't need to do more. And I'm like, oh, it kind of sucks for me. Cause like, of course I want to like help people, but how great is that too? You know, I'll take it. I'll take that as a win. If I can impact someone's life in 1 fucking hour, yeah, I'll do it. That's a win for me. That's what I want. I want fast results. I want more people to heal quicker because there's so much that holds us back. There's so much shit we shouldn't have to deal with, and in childhood and relationships, and it's not cool. Yes. And that's common. That's common. Yeah. That is very common where you look out for everybody else but yourself, and then you're drained, and you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So eventually your cup will be empty and you can't even give out to anybody anymore because you'll get just burnout or resentful or whatever. Like it's happened to me where I've literally, like, this was years ago, but I remember when I was living in Virginia, I was so tapped out on helping everybody else, being there for all my friends, and I love it, and I still do it, but I have limitations now. But I even wrote to a friend and I said, "I've got my own shit and I can't handle this right now. I'm sorry. I'll get back to you in a week, but I need to handle my own shit." It's okay. It's okay to do. And she was fine. And we're still great friends. We talk today. Like, the good people will understand if you can't be there. And look, people are going to take what they can get. I'm going to repeat that. People will take what they can get from you. Especially if you're like me. If you're like you, Flo, if you're like you, Marie, I know you too. We will give and give and give. And they will take and take and take. And it doesn't make them bad people. It's just like, oh, if it's there, I'm going to take it. I'll take their time. I'll take their energy, right? That's amazing, though. Good for you. Good for you. That's a big win. That's a really huge. That's huge. A lot of people don't even do that. Yeah, getting away from the people you don't want around you. It sounds simple, but it's not. It's not that easy to do sometimes, especially if you're, as you're saying you are, and I am. We want to make people happy, right? Parasites, yes. People who suck you dry, people who drain your energy, people who always complain. No, sis. No. So I literally have a schedule. I have an amount of time each week that I will spend with friends who are having a hard time, because this is my thing. I'm not going to like just, oh, people who need me or who have problems, fuck them. It's not like that. We're all going to go through our own shit, right? There are times I might need an ear. I might want to vent a little. It's not often, but maybe there are times. So I have an allotted amount of time. I'm like, I have this much time a week to give to the people who need to vent. And I give my advice once and I move on. That's it. Celebrating birthdays with people. Oh, good for you. See, you're doing good. Yeah. You have to recognize them. Absolutely, Marie. Yeah. It's setting boundaries. You guys know Marie knows. She's probably heard boundaries like 50,000 times from my mouth at this point. I'm so sorry, Marie. I'm going to say it again. Boundaries. I actually have a boundaries course if anyone wants it. I'm going to actually put it in here because I don't know if on replay especially, or if you guys are interested. I have a boundaries course. Hold on, here we go. And it's a life changer. It is literally a life changer. There you go. So there's a link to that. So it talks about boundaries, how to evaluate what boundaries you need to set, how to set the boundaries, how to have the conversations with people who are overstepping your boundaries, what to do if those people don't respect your boundaries, having boundaries with yourself even. Like that's even like if you're like, I want this in my life, but you're not living in alignment to that, right? Like even like I want to work out, but instead you're like scrolling on your phone in the morning when you could be working out literally for only 10 minutes. Look, I have a fucking amazing, is it up here? Yeah. 30, oh no, that's not the one. Damn it. It's not up here. But I have a 10-minute stretching, awesome yoga video that's like awesome sauce. I didn't say awesome sauce. No, I didn't. But it's amazing. And you could do it in 10 minutes. But instead you're scrolling, like you're set, oh, I wanna do better and have a morning routine, or I wanna get up and like feel good. But instead you're scrolling through bullshit like TikTok videos. That's a boundary you're fucking up. It's a boundary with yourself that's not right, right? So I have a video on that. So it's 10 pre-recorded videos of setting boundaries with other people is the biggest thing because we have trouble with that, right? But it's how to have the conversations in a loving way. And then there's the boundaries with yourself. So go check that out. I'm going to run and I will talk to y'all later. So glad you came in, Flo. Deuces and smooches and smooches and deuces.